Momo wakes up in a bed and a young vampire introduces herself as Elisha, telling her she won't suck her blood. Momo asks about Fine, and Elisha tells her she will take her to her later. She gives Momo food and explains they found them by chance. Elisha takes Momo around the village, where humans and vampires live peacefully. Elisha takes Momo to Fine, who is right now in an old frozen submarine which was turned into housing. Meeting with Fine, Momo tells her they found the paradise they were looking. A section opens and a vampire comes out, asking to be let out as he couldn't take any more of his blood being drained. He is then pushed back and locked into the section again. Elisha explains that's a vampire they took in recently, but he suffers from blood disease. When Momo and Fine remain alone, Fine shares that she finds the place strange. Kubo's group had reached the town that Fine and Momo stopped by. They speak with the hotel owner, who gives them the picture from the music box, but doesn't know the place. The soldier with them recognizes it as Volskaya, a village in the permafrost region. He had seen the place in their research material and explains that a submarine washed up there, causing massive environmental contamination, causing the villages to perish. Fine gives Momo a blade, but Momo doesn't want to take it. Later, Elisha officially welcomes Momo and Fine to the village, saying that while humans and vampires are still at war, they have created art and music that guide people to their village. The villagers then start celebrating, drinking and dancing. Elisha invites and teaches Momo how to dance. Later outside, Momo thanks Fine for helping her get here as she feels she can be free here and is happy that there are that many people who loves music and dancing. Fine tries to tell her something, but Elisha calls her back and Momo leaves. Allegro, who had eavesdropped on Kubo's group, shows up and comments that Fine had traveled quite far. He gets reminded how he and Fine used to sneak out of town when they were young. He asks Fine to come back home with him, saying that Momo is fine here on herself. Fine recalls how she also bite her and believes she may get in the way of Momo's happiness. Nobra had joined Kubo, who believes it's because Nobra wants to keep her status and if Momo died, the ones at Central won't bother her. Nobra states that there is no use to traitors and if you disobey, you will have to deal with the consequences. The group then departs, crossing the frozen lake and heading towards the village. The next morning, Momo finds Fine's blade and a note from her, telling her to use it if she needs. Momo realizes Fine left and Elisha tells her they will find her. She tells Momo to stay behind as parts of the lake is melting and it's dangerous. She locks Momo in her room, while the villagers head out searching for Fine. Fine is getting more weak and Allegro leaves her to get some help. Nobra shares that the village is unlikely to be a paradise and warns Kubo to not fall for it, but recalling how his vampire wife turned on him, he states he isn't a young fool anymore and is sure it's not paradise. Momo finds a hole in the wall and manages to go through it, but Hasumi notices her and go after her. Momo finds a sled with an engine, but Elisha shoots and blows it up. Momo survives, but is forced to run in the submarine. Elisha and other men follow her there. As she is being cornered, a voice tells her to enter the small duct and she manages to lose her chasers. Following the voice, she finds the vampire with the blood disease and frees him. He explains that they pump him with blood and somehow use his regenerative abilities to generate electricity. He used the pictures of the place to find this village and states that they use the pictures to lure people here and then use vampires like they used him. At the same time, Fine is found out by the villagers. The vampire is then shot by Elisha, who explains that by sacrificing few, everyone else can live peacefully. Momo manages to run and Elisha chases her, while explaining that she still can join them and be forgiven. Outside, Kubo's group makes contact with the villagers. They explain they are looking for Momo, but the village elder says there is no one with that name in the village. Kubo doesn't believe it, causing the villagers to call for backup and vampires arrive to attack Kubo's group. As the fight occurs, the soldiers use their mechs and end up damaging the submarine, causing it to start taking in water. Elisha manages to capture Momo, but she stabs her with Fine's blade. Momo then takes Elisha's weapon and run, while Elisha continues to chase her. Kubo corners the elder, who reveals that Momo escaped and is in the submarine. Elisha again captures Momo, but Momo shoots her, making her fall along a torpedo and die in an explosion.